we may not have a democracy in 4 years or 2 years, Brian. We cannot wait for that to happen. We are
Okay.
literally losing the foundation of our democracy right
So
now.
But
here's,
I think
so here's where I draw the line.
If the Republicans exhumed the body of Robert E. Lee and put his corpse on the floor of the Senate, he would get 52 votes. Okay, let's just be real.
You're right. I agree.
That's where we are as a country.
Yep.
Okay. Now, I'm going to ask a question. Now, before you just say no, just hear me out.
Okay.
The Republicans and Democrats, neither one of them give a crap about you and I and your guest and everyone that's listening to this. In 1965, May 1965 in France, they did something called a wildcat protest, where they went against the unions and the entire country went on strike for 6 or 7 weeks until the government decided that they've had enough financial hardship. Now, I don't think that people like Jasmine Crockett, who is incredible, no matter what she says, it's not going to move the needle.
No.
The only thing that's going to stop this government is if we stop supplying it with money. If teachers don't go to school, the kids have to stay home. If the kids have to stay home, the people don't go to work. They don't go to work, they don't get federal dollars. The truck drivers stay home. The economy shuts down. The only thing that's going to save us, Brian, from ourselves is ourselves. The government is not going to save us. And I know that it sounds extreme, and I understand that I can't afford to do that, but I think there's a point where we have to say, can we not afford to do that? Because I think we're to that point.
Okay, we might be to that point.
I don't disagree with you at all, actually.
Yeah, but I think what we need to do is keep harping on what is going on in this country today, maybe reach some of those people who voted for Donald Trump that are maybe not completely pro-Donald Trump, use their stories. For example, some Latinas or others in this country who have had family members that have been deported, nonviolent criminals, and they voted for Donald Trump. We need to interview those types of people. That people need to be out there and telling their stories. People there that are going to be losing their jobs, losing their 401ks, that are spending more on the price of eggs and gas. We need to expose that, talk to those people as voters
Brian,
ourselves.
Hold on, but Brian, let me push back a little bit. How does that stop what's happening inside the Senate right now in the government?
No, I want to. So wait, let me help play out your scenario, because I actually don't disagree with you at all. My husband's a teacher. They are losing teacher as his. It's just kind of chaos right now, right? But what I do think, if we let this play out a little bit, is I have friends and family who voted for Trump as well, right? Against their own interests, they're just kind of ignorant about it. But I will tell you, at the moment where there's not enough people in the towers, traffic air controllers, and they can't get on their planes to go to their vacations, and it starts impacting them, all of a sudden they're going to take notice. When there's not enough people to process people's tax returns, I pay in, so I'm not in any hurry for that. But when they can't get their returns, that's all of a sudden going to be a problem, because the problem is when you take government and you start stripping it away and you start firing people willy-nilly, and when we have, and because we will, our enemies are going to see this as a weakness when the FBI is down to bare bones and the CIA is down to bare bones, and I actually think the FBI and the CIA agents who are career should just walk off. I actually kind of agree with you. I think when you put people down and you make them feel inconsequential, that they should walk off. When all this stuff starts to happen, people are going to look at Musk and ultimately at Trump and said, you did this.
I hear what both of you are saying, but
I think it's going to happen because of what they're doing.
But at the same time, we have to live in the reality of the fact that he is going to be here for the next 4 years, and we need to make sure that there's a better midterms. And that's where
Brian, hold on. Let me push back on you, because I know I love you. We may not have a democracy in 4 years or 2 years, Brian. We cannot wait for that to happen.
Okay.
We are literally losing the foundation of our democracy right now.
But I think
here's where I draw the line. And here's where we disagree. There is going to be an election in 2028. That is, in my opinion, that is not. Now, listen, Donald Trump is a threat to our democracy. I've been saying that every day.
Yes.
And I do believe that. but I am not ready
Yes.
to sit here and say that he is going to run for a third term. Now, I'll tell you what could happen. Are you ready for this? This is not a conspiracy theory. J.D. Vance runs or somebody else runs and Donald Trump runs as vice president. I can certainly see that happening.
No.
It could happen legally, and it very well may happen. But there will be an election, and we need to make sure that.
But Brian, why are you against a wildcat strike where the entire country just shuts down, where the people control the narrative, not the government? Why are you against that? Or
I just
what concerns do you have?
Well, I didn't say I was against it. I just don't think it's a reality.
Oh.
I don't think that's going to happen.
No, but I do think, and that's actually, the truckers, when they shut down the country pretty much shut down. Like nothing came in and out. No one got stuff. So no, you do absolutely have a point. That is the power of the unions and the power of people. But what I do think is going to happen as they start kicking people out of these government jobs that are vital to everybody else, right? And it's vital to process Social Security checks, veterans, administration and the care on that. I absolutely do agree with you that, but I think it's going to happen kind of naturally where things are going to cease to function.